Let's face it, the Mercedes-AMG GT R Pro has its eyes on one car and one car only, the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. It's owned the track car space for almost 2 decades and AMG has had enough, which is why we've come to Australia's Phillip Island circuit. This is one of the world's greatest racetracks. If the GT R Pro is going to work, it has to work here. The GT R Pro wasn't originally bound for Australian shores. The decision was made to wait for the Black Series instead, but a vocal group of customers had other ideas, and who can blame them? Just look at this thing. But why would you choose this over the more potent Black Series? Well, there's the small matter of a $340,000 price saving, while the Pro is also the rarer car. Just 750 will be offered worldwide, and only 15 of those are coming to Australia, compared to 28 Black Series. While the Pro doesn't undergo the same substantial re-engineering as its bigger brother, it still benefits from plenty of AMG's racing know-how. The adaptive dampers of the standard GTR are replaced by manually adjustable coilovers. These can be adjusted for rebound and both high and low speed compression, using dials on top of the dampers. The front anti-roll bar is now carbon fibre, the rear is steel but hollow, and there are uniball bearings in both the upper and lower rear wishbones. A carbon fibre shear panel stiffens the rear end, and a half roll cage does the same for the body shell. Massive carbon ceramic brakes are standard, as are the specially developed Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres. But where the Pro differentiates itself from the GTR on which it's based is aerodynamics. This front splitter is extended, these carbon flicks are added, and these new louvers vent the air from under the arches to help keep the front end pinned to the ground. The carbon roof has been redesigned to lower the centre of gravity, while at the rear, these carbon elements help shape the air, and the massive wing now has a gurney flap and sits on these beautiful milled aluminium supports. All up, an extra 99 kilograms of downforce is added at 250 kilometres an hour. These upgrades help the Pro lap the Nürburgring in 7 minutes 4.6 seconds, more than 6 seconds faster than the standard GTR, so it should make mincemeat of Phillip Island. The 4-litre twin-turbo V8 is unchanged, but 430 kilowatts and 700 newton meters is probably enough. It's enough for 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.6 seconds and a 318 kilometer an hour top speed. It's also enough to have your eyes out on stalks trying to keep up with the rate of acceleration. And then there's the noise this thing makes. It's more than a little bit evil. The 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox mounted at the back is likewise unchanged, but it's super quick in its shifts up and down the box. But you buy the Pro for its chassis. It feels different to the standard GTR from the moment you turn the steering wheel. There's more weight to the steering. Now, more weight doesn't always equate to more feel, but in this case there is a greater connection to what the front wheels are doing. It's unbelievably accurate. Like a competitive bodybuilder, there's a sense that every skerrick of fat has been chiseled away. That said, at 1,575 kilograms, the Pro is no lightweight, and you can feel that. It just takes a moment to settle in some of Phillip Island's faster corners. Aside from that, it's very difficult to pick any holes in the Pro, at least on a dry, warm racetrack. This is one car where these 4-point harnesses actually make perfect sense. It generates so much lateral grip that you'd probably fall through the window without them, and being held tightly in place allows you to feel what the car is doing so much better. And what it's doing is going really, really fast. The brakes are seemingly unkillable. Once warm, the tyres are as sticky as chewing gum, and the whole car feels on your side, which hasn't always been the case with the GT. Traction out of the slower corners is fantastic, and it's best not to think about how fast you're going in some of the quicker ones. North of 200 kilometers an hour in a couple of cases. What's truly impressive about the Pro is that it will do this lap after lap after lap after lap. It doesn't overheat its engine or its gearbox or its tyres or its brakes, it just works. But is it better than a 911 GT3 RS? It's a different flavour of track car, not as sharp and precise perhaps, but more accessible and every bit as entertaining in its own way. It's like the most talented muscle car you've ever driven. Let's just hope those 15 Aussie buyers put it to good use.